Welcome back everyone to the semi-finals video here for Star Wars the card game at World Championship Weekend 2015. We're, as I say, looking at semi-finals. On the right we have Zach Bunn playing a Navy affiliation, and on the left we have David Tietze playing what looks like Jedi. And we are lucky enough to have the man, the legend himself, join us for commentary. David, how are you?
I'm doing great, Andy. How are you doing?
I'm good. Sportsmanship shake of the hand there. You and Zach, had you played Zach up until this point in the day?
I did. We played the last rounds of Swiss, and so we both got in at the same time.
Okay, that's a good.
At the end of that extremely long day, and it was extremely gratifying to see him again here at the very end of the second day.
So it looks like Zach is. We've seen his dark side deck on the channel before on earlier videos. So he's mono navy. He's got deploy the fleet out, blockade for making your units cost one more. And it looks like Might of the Empire for his capital ships to be elite. And do you want to run through your objectives on the Jedi, Dave?
Yeah, I've got Forgotten Heroes there, which is Obi-Wan, his core set. I've got the Crow's objective, which of course gives edge to my attacking Jedi units.
Yep.
And I have Mysteries of the Rim, which lets me kind of move focus tokens around and do some crazy shenanigans with it.
Ooh, baby. Lots of tricks. Lots of tricks. Core Obi-Wan, that's not a pod we saw much of. That as soon as I saw you flop that on the day, I was really excited to see what this deck was going to bring.
You know, of all the people, or all the games that I played, and the ones that have been covered, of course, by you, Andy, this is the one I get asked about the most. And I think it's mainly because of the diversity of the decks that were involved, and just how close the game was itself. So
yeah, I mean, kind of mono navy these days. It's all over the place. You can't go to
right,
tournament and not see it. This is the first time we really saw the capital ship aggressive decks. Zach and John were from John Heath Clark from New York. They were the only two that ran this deck really at Worlds, I think.
Right, and Zach, of course, played it masterfully and was so far ahead of the meta, but we just had no idea.
So a turn one, bit of a resource chud for Zach, the shielding capital ship, and turn one Tarkin. That's always brutal. Crow's resource for you. You've got to be happy to see that in your opening hand.
Yeah, but of course I'm kind of hamstringed here. I don't have May the Force be with you, which is always kind of rough when you're playing Navy, and with blockade out, I'm only going to play one unit there.
Yeah. At least Enforced isn't on the table. You don't have
That's
to
right.
be swinging.
Which is obviously a time clock.
Yeah. So it looks like a solid control play there. Just like I say, you don't have May the Force, you can't attack and hold the Force. So.
And there's some questions about that. Zach did blank my Temple of the Jedi there, so I was not able to put the extra token off.
And was that a Yoda? Did I see? Sorry, the glares catching.
That's right. Yeah, I played Yoda turn one. Had to pay him for 4.
Yeah.
And then of course, without May the Force be with you, Zach appropriately knew that I would not be swinging in, and then blanked the right thing there at the beginning of the Force phase.
So Zach, it's got to be happy that the blockade is still up.
Yeah, he's got. Oh. He definitely has blockade still up. He's had an incredible first start.
Yeah.
Getting Tarkin turn 1 with Navy is just so good.
Now he's only got, including the I was going to say he's only got 4 resources this turn, but that's not helping him now. But it's going to give him lots of resources in future turns. The Death Squad command. Oh, Decimator with an iron cannon.
Yep, Jedi are looking pretty far behind at this point.
Yeah, Decimator, if he blocks alone, he will always strike first. And Zach just gave it a black tactics. So that's pretty good play.
It is, but he had to commit it to the Force, which is something you definitely don't want to do.
Yeah.
Necessarily, if you're planning on using it multiple times.
So yeah, takes it Force 6 to 5. So with all his Force cards put on the board now, you can play a unit, commit it, and be kind of confident you'll hold the Force for the rest of the game almost.
Yeah, that's obviously the plan, but with Tarkin out, I have to tread lightly.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm paying it 1 extra for each unit now, which also makes things really difficult. So Zach has definitely been winning the tempo game up to this point.
Yeah. Lost Master, Zach can't pay to send it back to hand, so that's a nice cheap unit with the blast damage.
Yep, and then of course using the Obi-Wan's objective reaction to draw the card. That's kind of the main idea behind this deck, is to be able to swing and be defensive with your card draw. So,
so is that Obi-Wan? It's not limit 1, and it's every time you play a Force user, is it?
That's right. Every time you play that's right. So that deck is just swarming with all kinds of Force user units in it.
Yeah. I guess that gives you that's your engine to help you win the edge battles as well against these Navy decks.
Yeah, especially if they go aggressive and you need it on defense, which is obviously very nice as well.
A farmer?
Yep. Those Russian terrorists, man, they can they can make life difficult at times.
Zach's like, what? You played it? You didn't pitch it in the edge?
Yeah, he's like, you're really playing Crow here? Like, all right, sure, I guess. So
do you swing here? It feels like this is going to be a long game. Like I say, you can't be attacking and hold the Force with May the Force be with you.
Right.
So it feels like this is going to be a control battle.
Right, and we haven't seen a whole lot of yellow cards, so Bamboozle's definitely not in the mix or anything like that.
No, 2 mono decks here, it looks like. Looks like I've got to say that's a Yoda blank, is it?
I think he once again blanked the temple, so I wouldn't be able to do any kind of.
Okay, so to just skip conflict completely. Gotcha.
Yeah, not swinging there I think is the right decision as well, because obviously I've got Yoda as the defender, who dial being at should be about 3 at this point.
It's on 3 now, yeah.
Yeah, and so now he's going to be able to start killing things and locking something else down. And so it's kind of disadvantageous for Zach to try and swing in here, knowing that the backlash could be pretty devastating.
Yeah. I think in Zach's position, the only unit I'd be tempted to swing in with is if I drew a targeted strike trooper. That's probably about it. Just something for people who may have missed it as well. David committed the Rusan colonist, putting him on 6 pips to Zach's 6. So you might be wondering why David won the Force. The guy in the middle, the Lost Master, he doesn't have to commit. He just has text that counts him as committed. So David's actually on 7 Force pips to Zach's 6. So that's why David won the Force last turn.
And it also makes things useful whenever if you happen to draw my ally as a Force in board wipe, you can have tons of units still available for attacking the next turn.
That's a good point. I completely didn't realise that. Yeah, he will not die to my allies the Force. Zach's deck seems to have slowed down a little bit here.
Yeah, I think he's thinking carefully about what he had. He's definitely still won the tempo game, but I'm playing a very controlled style deck. I don't have a whole lot of blast on the board right now, but it's meant to kind of frustrate a little bit. So
bit of history between you two then. So if you met in the last round of Swiss, was it did you both split?
We did, yes. Yeah. So that's how we both ended up getting in, which was interesting.
And I guess it's nice, that you saw each other's decks in Swiss, so you knew how aggressive Zach's Navy could be.
Right, and I also knew that he didn't have Yularen in there as well. So
true, yeah.
Another interesting side note is that, as you know, Andy, this is my first real year playing Star Wars, and in the Store Championship season, is when I initially got to know Zach a little bit, and he encouraged me to go to Worlds. So he's a big reason, actually, why I was playing the tournament in the first place. Shout
out to Zach and everyone at Team Covenant for keeping the meta strong, keeping new blood coming into the game.
That's right.
Whatever you're doing to recruit people, guys, you're both at the final table in the semi-finals. So good work, and that's a testament to you, David, as well. Just coming onto the scene, relatively new player, and just wrecking the day, really, making it all the way.
So it looks like Zach's going to swing in here at the Crow's objective, fly to the Crow.
And it looks like he's using the shielding ship, the gunship, to that has a reaction as well as shielding. It can then put a shield on any objective or unit. So he's shielding the blockade, Imperial blockade, even though he's an attacker.
That's right.
So it's making it really hard for David to turn that off and make his units cheaper.
And I think he was trying to test and see what I would do there by swinging in. So.
Freeing a resource up there with the Mysteries of the Rim.
Right.
1 Jedi resource. What is that for? Is that just a bluff play to make Zach think? What's in there that costs 1?
Well, I think if Zach, is obviously aware of the game and kind of knows what's going on, if he doesn't blank the temple again, I'll have 3 open resources. So if he thinks that I have my Allies of Force in hand,
true.
He might certainly try and draw him into something that he potentially doesn't want to do here.
That's a great call, yeah, because after winning the Force Struggle, you can trigger the temple first and then react with my allies.
So he decides to wait and see, and those of you who have seen the video before know that no, I do not actually have my Allies of Force, and I never get to see it. And I'm deciding here trying to what to ping. He's got a shield on the blockade, so I decided to put one on might.
Yep.
So.
Holding the Force.
The other thing, too, is if I have the Force Illusion, too, it can take out a couple of his blockers.
Yeah, because
when I'm sending something in to swing.
That you'd want, yeah, that's kind of powered up by a character with focus tokens on him, isn't it? Force user. So the more tokens you can have on that Lost Master, yeah, that's true. You got plenty of money this time.
Then I played our only hope. Yep, I played my only hope to turn off custom blockade here, just in case there's an event that comes up that I would like to use. So that's the other nice thing about this deck is it's got cheap little events you can play to turn off things like customs blockade, so you can keep going.
Yeah, that's a forced reaction from Zach, so that's double focused, and David can now use events freely for the next turn or 2, probably.
Yep. And then have to pay 3 for my Mystics there, drawing a card with Obi's objective.
Yeah. As soon as you get blockade turned off, you've got plenty of resources to start hammering out the big units.
That's right. It's 100% right.
But how do you attack into that board with 2 decimators, the shielding gunship?
I think my strategy at this point was, I just need to build the board, keep the force. Eventually, I'm going to be able to start pinging things and see if we can get to my Allies of Force to clear most of his board off, or let my deck do what it's designed to do. So just be patient with it, I think was the main idea.
Control. You must learn control.
Absolutely. And this is probably one of the most thematic games I've ever had, just where I'm just kind of, there is this big aggressive Navy force that's sitting here.
And Yoda's just on the Force, meditating.
That's right. And Zach actually makes an interesting play and blanks Mysteries of the Rim there, so that I'm not able to pull tokens off of it. I don't think he likes the idea of me freeing up that extra card to be able to play events.
Seems strong. You still do have 3 resources open, so there could be some crazy... I don't know if were you running Ron and Owen, so you have like Unfinished and Rejuve cards like that?
I did not have Ron in this deck, which was more of a play style call than anything else. I know it was very popular amongst a lot of other decks that were playing, but now the main idea was to keep control of the force, to try and board wipe if you got too far behind, which I'm kind of hoping I can do, but through taking the force and letting him damage his own objectives, I've gotten 4 damage on objectives at this point, so I'm thinking, well, I'm not sitting in too bad of a position.
Yeah. Yoda swings in, Yoda's got his guns.
Mm-hmm.
As you say, Zach did not blank a unit. So, is that Force Illusion?
It is Force Illusion, and so I'm saying that he can't block with a couple things.
So one of them's got to be the Decimator with the tactics, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the shielding unit, I want my damage to be able to get through.
Yep. Good call.
Try to turn off that so I can start playing my big boys.
So Zach's only blockers here is the Decimator, which is an okay blocker, especially if it's going in alone, but it'll only do 1 damage, or Tarkin. And Yoda's got 3 guns right now, so I wouldn't be too inclined to put Tarkin in front of that.
Right. And of course, you want to be super careful when you're playing these games, making sure that you're not.
Not rushing yourself, not making silly mistakes.
Right.
Were these? I know the final at most events isn't timed. Was this game timed? Do you remember, David?
This was. A lot of people thought that it wasn't, but it actually was. They actually announced time on Zach's previous turn before I actually ended up finishing it off.
Okay, so you were
it was
definitely
very
on the clock.
Yes.
So it looks like Zach chose not to block at all. You put the damage on the objective and a tactics on Tarkin.
Mm-hmm. So took the force.
Yeah, maintain it. 3 pips to 3 pips.
Mm-hmm.
Down goes up to 4.
And it's important that I know that he doesn't have Yularen in his deck, because I know that damage to blockade is going to stick.
Yep. Always nice knowing that you can chip away at these objectives and not be worried about them healing up.
Yeah. Now I've left myself pretty wide open here.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. It's like, well, you've got to try. So, but I still think it was the right call to make.
Well, yeah. Zach looks like he's got 3 on the Death Squadron command, 4, 5, 6, 7 resources if he wants to use Tarkin, 8 with the Fleet Navigator.
Yep.
So depending on what he draws here, he could start dropping some of his big gunships.
And of course, with Might, you're always worried about Chimera, making an appearance.
Yeah, love the Chimera. Pretty much any unit from Zach's board, Zach's deck, I'd like, it'll be a great addition to his board. Chimera hit the table, a big gunship with 3 bombs, that's fine. Another small couple of ships, that'll be fine as well. Just build a massive board.
Right.
Anything Zach can play here is just gonna be painful.
And he has some left over to throw down those forward command posts, which he wants to
extra blast.
utilize. So, yep.
So Zach's doing some maths. Anytime like defensive Yavin is in a deck or deploy the fleet is in a deck, allow extra time for deployment mathematics.
That's right.
So yes, looks like
David's... against the pressure. We've been playing this all day. Obviously, Zach's played a couple more games than I have, but this is the end of a second day of just real intense competition. That just, oh my gosh! But there's nothing quite like it,
Ooh, that's a big.
There he is.
That's a big Star Destroyer.
Yep.
I hear Navy likes Star Destroyers, David.
I think they.
Oh my lord. Okay. Yep. This is a big turn for Zach. So he's kind of denying you a big unit next turn.
And it's a mid-game tempo control with that rule by fear. Which...
It really is. And he's still got the Fleet Navigator open and Tarkin if he wants to blank things. So
100% right.
My side of the board here, I'm half tempted to swing with the big Star Destroyer to get some damage going. And either the Navigator or the anything with the tactics to lock Yoda down.
Right. He's definitely in a great position right now.
Yeah. Swing for the fences, Zach.
Yeah, and this is what his deck is designed to do. It's just designed to start, pummeling once they build a big enough board.
Tarkin, yeah. again uses the gunship shielding reaction aggressively there.
Mm-hmm. He's going after. He doesn't want me to draw any more cards.
Yeah, I don't blame him. So yeah, shields Tarkin, so that keeps him safe from your deck. Obviously, it's got Yoda. It's running Seeds of Decay, so that'll keep Tarkin available. Ooh. The farmer.
That's right. Who gives himself edge 1.
He does give himself edge 1. That's really good. No edge on Zach's side of the board, from what I can see.
Nope. The other thing is there's heats in Obi-Wan's pod, which is also nice.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of
not many light side decks run a heat. Certainly the Jedi these days.
That's right.
So with your edge 1 and you win and turn off his objective damage.
Right. And he tries to put the tactics on Yoda, I think, and I suck it up with the Mystic.
Good count. Good catch. 2 guns.
And he ends up killing. Yep, he kills my Russian terrorist, which,
God.
Of course, I'm disappointed to see it go. But
I will flash up a big sarcasm warning on the screen. If there's one unit in this deck, I think you're okay to see die.
No, this is so intense because Zach is obviously such a great player.
Yeah.
And I'm facing him with this huge board, and he's obviously like going through all of the options that he possibly can do at this point.
So
trying to put another tactics down. My board's locked out. It makes a whole lot of sense here.
Yeah, it really does. Keep Yoda out of the fight.
Yeah.
This will let Zach take the force back as well, and hopefully speed the game up a little bit.
Right, and now he's gonna, obviously swing in with the
big ball.
Star Destroyer, put a whole bunch of damage on my Mystics.
Those Star Destroyers, they do good work.
They do, and and that's the right play. With Rule by Fear, you're not too worried about me getting something huge out, or if I get something huge out, maybe I can only pay for it, twice, and that's it.
And Zach's still got a great blockers up. He's got Tarkin if he absolutely needs to blank anything or use the tactics on the defense. He's got great blockers with the shielding gunship and the decimator. So you need a good draw here, David. Whatever you're going to draw.
I know. Definitely the back's against the ropes here.
So Zach does take the force back after locking your board down.
Mm-hmm.
What would I like to see here? See, you've half spoiled it. My allies, the force, I think, could get you back in this.
Absolutely.
What
yeah,
else?
that would be so big for me right now.
Ooh, Tressar.
And he can't take his hand off. And
Instant react there from Zach.
Yeah, he's like, no.
Bye-bye.
But of course, I missed the reaction here with Obi-Wan's objective.
Oh, the card draw.
Even up later.
Damn. Now, smooth play.
I did, we played with him. Yeah.
Use the reaction on Outer Rim Mystics.
Yep.
4 resource. He's like, read the card again, Zach. You just read it.
Yeah.
Same card.
Well, and you could definitely appreciate the situation he's in.
Yeah. Make sure you know what that card does. Edge.
So with those units committed to the Force, she's got Edge 2, which is so supremely wonderful. But,
what's her reaction? Whilst you have more units committed, she gains Edge 2. So you're currently tied. You've both got 3.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So you need to commit herself to activate that. Those sneaky plays, though, to free up the 4th resource and play her again. That's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Tressar's a great main. I think her only doubt, she's got a great set of icons, but she's not elite, is she?
No, she's not. Which is why having that Neiman training from the Mystics pod is kind of nice.
True.
So.
Looks like you pass.
That's right. Pass turn over to her. Then sitting there with just 2 defenders against the might of the Empire here. So at this point, it's looking pretty grim. But we
Zach held the force with Tarkin and the gunship, so down I think ticks up to 6.
That's right.
Oof.
It's just taken away on me.
And the blockade, the customs blockade is back, so no more events for David for the time being.
Mm-mm. So if you're Zach here, I think you're wanting to see, maybe another Death Squadron Star Destroyer and blow up, deploy the fleet here just to get that dial ticking to where you want it to be.
Yeah, again,
post would be great with all of your shielding units.
It's one of these. Pretty much anything Zach's deck decides to give him at this point would be a nice addition. Not the Morsh Moraine, the forward command post would be great. Some more Star Destroyers would be great. Even something like a tractor beam.
Yeah,
that'd be fine.
Yeah, and that's those decimators. That might be what they're there for. Just to soak up some icons for you.
Then the only thing you wouldn't be able to play at this point would be another Tarkin.
Pretty much.
That's about it. We've not seen a Chimera yet.
Nope.
Zach mulling this one over.
Yeah, that's a tough decision. Another interesting point about this tournament, Andy, is that I almost didn't make Worlds.
Really?
I missed the original sign-up, yeah. And I was one of those people frantically hitting F5 on the refresh to try and get a spot.
My God.
Before the tournament ended. And I was just like, oh, man, I'm going to miss it. I had air travel and everything booked.
It was meant to be, David. It sounds like it was. Feels like it was meant to be.
It was pretty wild, I'll tell you that much.
You're the chosen one.
Apparently.
Oh.
There's a Chimera card right there.
Yeah. Fleet staging area. Free money. We always like free money.
We do like free money.
Ooh, okay.
The Imperial Raider, I think.
Yeah. I forget what that card does because I don't run entanglements anymore. But is that the enters an engagement and can shield when it enters?
Yeah, if you lose an engagement, he can enter an engagement, and he does have shielding, so it adds to his forward command post synergy of wonderfulness.
Yeah. Another decimator, my God!
And now at this point, I'm just praying for my allies to force. Come on, Doug. Like, seriously, you gotta help me out a little bit here. So,
God, so 1006. So if Zach can. I know exactly what's going through Zach's head at the moment. If he can blow up all 3 objectives right now,
he can win the game.
He wins the game. So the big Star Destroyer cruiser that could take out Obi-Wan's. He's got enough blast on the table.
Just mathing it out here.
Just mathing it out, yeah.
Just thinking about what exactly he needs to do what.
Well, let's check. So each of the decimators has 1, so he's got 3 there. Plus unopposed would take out the second objective. And then, any random unopposed would take out Mysteries of the Rim. So he's definitely got the blast on the board if he can win the edge.
Which, the last turn I forgot to draw my 2 cards from Tresau, so he's got to feel a little bit better about that.
True. Your edge hand's looking beatable, at least. He's got a tractor beam in hand, which is a nice 3 pips.
Mm-hmm. So he's going to make sure that I can't suck up any focus tokens with the Mystic there.
Yep, blanking it with Tarkin.
Right.
Okay, swing with a small fleet at the outer rim. I hear there's a rebel base out there. We better go check it out.
And for me, if you're the defending player in this situation, you got to be thinking, okay, I've got a 3 health unit here. If I win edge, it's going to live, and he's only got edge enabled to blast. Yeah. So this is my time. I'm going to want to.
Yeah, she steps up now, so she still doesn't have edge 2 because you still both have 3 units committed. So yeah, you just Seeds of Decay. That's nice. I'll take Tarkin's shield away. or you can put it on the gunship at the back. Goes for Tarkin.
And this is the other thing about if you're in Zach's position about playing a very aggressive Navy deck, you have to watch out for the counter stroke. If you're pitching a lot of edge cards while you're swinging in, I'm going to be coming at you with a full hand.
A full hand of Jedi cards as well, which they are pretty good for force pips, I hear, on those Jedi cards. So it looks like strike, kill, and a tactics on Tarkin.
That's right.
So that
the edge-enabled tactics, here, isn't going to do much for me. Sure, she takes a gun, but she's going to live to fight another day.
Yeah.
Then nothing happens there. So that was the edge battle I needed to have. So
keeps the objective alive.
Right, and now he's got to think. I'm not going to be able to win this turn.
Yeah.
I've got shielding units on the board. How aggressive do I want to be here? And
again, you've not got enough tactics on the board anymore to keep Yoda locked down.
Right.
So that your board is clearing up next turn, whether Zach likes it or not. I think is in Zach's position here, you maybe swing with the big guy, and keep the other three back on defense.
Well, the thing is, for me, he's attacking the Crow's objective, which gives my guys an extra edge. So do I block with the Mystic here, or do I try and and keep that objective, which I think is the right call here.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be able to play my big boy units since blockade's off. He doesn't have another rule by fear out, and I can start doing some fun things. So.
Now, if you've got any way of winning the force struggle and freeing Valley of the Jedi up, I don't think you do at this point, do you? Mm-hmm. So you're going to have 5 money next turn.
That's right.
So it looks like Zach wins that battle.
Yep, and he has the force, because he's got his units committed.
So this is your turn.
That's right, and we've been able to successfully turn off the customs blockade again.
Yeah.
So, here I'm wanting big stuff, right? I'm wanting the Crow. I'm wanting anything that's going to be able to help me out here and potentially seal this game off for me.
Yeah, whilst you've only, like say, the event cancel has been turned off, you've only got half a board of Navy to deal with instead of the full fleet.
Right. And, there's Obi-Wan.
Ooh, core Obi.
Yes, he's going to give me a lot of fun shenanigans here, including in edge stacks, the first card has to be face up.
Yep.
Which is awesome. But if I remembered that I was playing core Obi-Wan and that his objective was out, I should have drawn a card.
Should have drawn a card. Yep.
So
doing it the hard way. Doing it the hard way.
Yeah, that's what you got to do sometimes. And looking at this, I'm not too upset, right? Like the dial's high enough that Yoda's guns are an obvious target for Tarkin. You've got Obi-Wan, you've got Tresau. I've got tactics for days.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of in a better defensive position here than I am offensive.
Yeah, Zach can't attack if Yoda's available, and if Tarkin doesn't blank him for whatever reason, Yoda can one-shot even the Star Destroyer at this point.
Right.
So Zach's got to be afraid of that unit damage. And if he's blanking Yoda, he's not blanking, Crow to give you everything edge.
Right. Or Tresau to get an edge too, or the Mystic to suck up an icon.
Yeah.
So.
Sage your tail. Tarkin blanking cards, it's powerful, but if you give him too many targets, he can't blank them all.
That's right. So we're going on board versus board. It took me a few turns, but I finally was able to
with that.
kind of meet up with him a little bit here.
Well, as I say, as soon as Imperial Blockade got turned off, Tresau hit the table, Obi-Wan hit the table, the wheels could start turning.
Mm-hmm.
So do you attack here then? I think... man. I guess the one unit you really want to tactics down is that huge Star Destroyer, and it's got a shield. So it's like takes the Force with Obi-Wan.
And all of my free units have tactics on them, which is
a beautiful place to be.
Yes.
Frees up Valley of the Jedi as well.
That's right.
And that'll turn on Tressar's Edge too, because you've got 4 units technically committed now.
That's right.
Oh, baby. All the pieces are lining up, David.
But if only I had that Rusan colonist still, I'd have an extra edge.
He did his job. The harvest.
He did. He stood in front of that decimator like a champ.
Not in the job description, I don't think, that one. So again,
all right.
Navy here.
So here we are in a super tense part of the game, right?
We know Zach's got a tractor beam, for sure.
He's got a tractor beam. You know, he's got tons of resources. What's he going to do? How's he going to play this? And, you know, when I'm faced in the situation, I get a board like this, I kind of like to not play anything if I'm Navy.
Yeah, just keep the edge of 11 or 12. I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw a forward command post. I'd probably play that.
Well, I'm not sure if it really helps you here, you know? I mean, you've got, you know, all kinds of stuff. I mean, you're just going to be able to... your main thought here is just win edge, right?
True.
So
man, that's it. True, and if Zach can win the edge, you can't put two tactics down and lock out the Star Destroyer.
Right.
So, yeah, but he does play the forward command post. The temptation of extra blast is too much for the Navy.
And he blows up his own objective.
Zach making the big plays. That frees up Death Squad command.
Yep.
So that makes the next capital ship 1 cheaper. Oh, the twins!
I know, right?
I can't see. You're off camera, but I've got to imagine you clenched up a little bit at that point, David.
Well, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Another unit with shielding and 3 bombs. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, so all of the shields... I'm facing the Navy fleet here. So, but you know,
okay.
that's what Jedi do, man. They just meditate on it and go at it. Now,
knowledge and defense.
I remember at this point in the game thinking to myself, please swing in. Because I had such an edge hand. It was pretty amazing.
Okay, so you know at this point you can, and with Zach having to put the first guard in face up because of Obi-Wan, I think you're a happy boy for edge at the moment. Yes,
which I of course will be sure to remember.
So, but let's do the math here. What can Zach do? Knowing he's got tractor beam, and it looks like he's got the money to pay for it with Tarkin and the Navigator if he needs to, if nothing else. I think you swing with both big Star Destroyers.
Yeah, just shield both of them.
Yeah.
Make sure that it's going to go through. So, whatever shenanigans you try and pull are going to work off. You just don't want to get too cute with it.
Yeah.
That's the thing is just make it simple. If you have it, great. If not, slow it up a little bit. So he thinks he's got it. He thinks that and my obvious reaction here is to block with everything with tactics, right? So I can try and block out the rest of his board and make my next turn as good as possible. And I think it was about this time that that Eric called time on us.
Yeah, we're on about 39, 40 minutes, so that's about feels about right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even if your tactics can't lock down these units that are striking, you can take shields away, which is removing blast from Zach's board. So you do block with everything. And yeah, the first one has to go face up, so it's Nida for 2 picks.
Nida with 2. And currently I have edge with Tressar there.
I think you pass.
So I do pass here.
So Zach is furiously reading cards. What's going on?
He's trying to figure out where my edge is coming from. And so I'm saying, yes, that one's committed to the Force. She does have edge 2. So he's going to start throwing more in here.
You cannot catch the Bunn out so simply.
And the other thing, too, is these Navy decks, they don't have a lot more than 3 pipped cards in them.
No,
right?
no. Tarkin, Tractor Beam, Chimera, which we've not seen yet. That's about it. Did you put any cards in Edge? You did put.
I did that Obi-Wan. So I had 6 to his I think 3.
Yep.
So I've won the Edge.
And you've got a boatload of tactics now. So
and 7 guns on Yoda. So that's exactly where those guns went.
Oh God, yeah. Why didn't Zach blank? Oh man. Youch. You got to wonder.
And that's
why.
the right unit to strike here. If you lose that edge battle, Zach is 100% right.
Yeah.
You want to try and make it easier to kill her on the backswing.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Man, you've got to wonder why either Zach blanked something that we didn't catch, but I'd spend the money even if it came off the Fleet Navigator to blank Yoda's guns. I guess it's easy in hindsight.
Right.
But man, 6 guns on Yoda at this point is. We said it before. It can. It's a headache for any unit that attempts to go in.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't have any open resources now, so he's not able to blank anything on my turn.
All he's got is the Fleet Navigator. That's it, I think.
Right.
Ooh, and this is. You blocked with all 3 units, so that's 4 tactics you're able to lay down on the board. Seems good. Solid.
So now the play here is like, do you swing in, and try and, free up your Death Squadron? Well, I guess you can't because it's going to be, well, if I blow up one of his objectives, it'll free it back up. So.
Yeah.
And that
tactics is getting placed, but are you going to Mystics it again?
I think that's the play that I do here.
So Zach does swing in for the unopposed to kill out Moldy Crow, Flight of the Crow. And yeah. Hadder and Mystics so good.
Right. And here he's got, a shielding unit and decimator to defend. I just have to be careful in the way that I swing in when I do. And of course I get to keep the force here because his force his force cards are all committed to lockdown units.
Yeah, balance will stay with you, so you get to free damage. Three on 1 for
it. Yeah, and it's tense. I'm going to need all the blast help I can possibly get here.
So Zach passes the turn. You do damage to blockade. Put 2 damage on it. So.
And this is what's clever about Zach's play here, is I've got units with tactics on them, so I don't have a spare objective to swing at with tactics units, right? So, I have to make all my attacks count and potentially win a couple edge battles here.
Well, again, you've got the tools to do it. David with Tressar's Edge 2 and Obi-Wan forcing the first one in to be visible. Ooh. Forgotten Masters?
Yep. So completely useless at this point.
But more force users to card draw off?
Yeah, more force users to card draw off of. And if it was something useful like May the Force be with you, all of a sudden Gift from a Past becomes extremely big here because then I can swing a couple times, with a unit.
Plenty of resources. What's that? We've got 8.
See, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep.
Who's in your deck? Who could be in your deck that we've not seen yet? Luke potentially.
Yep. Core Luke is actually in there with all of his lightsabers and glory.
Okay, so is he off the camera below Obi-Wan?
He is, yeah.
He's a shy farm boy. He doesn't want to be on camera. That's fine.
He is. That's It's appropriate. And then, of course, the math, right? Like that's
Yeah, so that's two. What have you got? 2 blast on Luke, 2 on Tressar.
Yep.
So Luke and Obi-Wan.
1 on Obi.
Yeah.
And we got 1 on the Lost Master and 1 on Yoda.
I mean, Luke, Yoda, they're going to make sure they're getting unopposed, and 3 blasts plus unopposed will take out blockade.
Mm-hmm.
And that just leaves 3 damage, which Tressar and the Lost Master can do on the middle.
That's right.
So the maths is possible.
So I'm sitting here thinking about the possibilities here and mathing it out.
Yeah.
Just kind of saying, okay, if I send Obi-Wan there, then would I need to send Luke? Yes. So I'm like, well, let me rethink this here. Do I want to have the edge with Tressar to be able to win the edge battle?
Yeah.
You know,
so again, you've got what, five cards in hand? 6 because of the draw of Obi plus edge 2.
Right. If I remember the draw, I don't think I drew from Luke either.
So yeah, you've got edge 2 plus 5 cards. You're not doing bad for edge. I think Zach's still got 2 or 3.
Let's see. He played. What did he play? He played the other Death Squadron Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
And he threw a couple cards in edge,
yes.
So he should have, I think, 3. So.
Yeah, I think with the amount of tactics you got on the board here, I'm tempted to lead with, Tressar and Yoda. That's enough guns to clear the way.
So I'm going with Yoda and Luke.
Yoda and Luke. At the Empire, which only needs 3 damage to blow it up.
That's right.
And it's Core Luke.
That's right.
Core Luke.
And I'm bringing 3 damage.
So yeah, Yoda and Luke can kill both those blockers if they defend.
That was my thought process, is that even if they don't defend, Luke's got targeted strike, and Yoda's got tactics.
Yep.
And he doesn't have any resources to be able to utilize the tractor beam there. So.
True. And they can definitely get 3 objective damage, even if they lose edge.
That's right.
It's a tricky one here. I think that maybe the only play here for Zach might be to, even then, I think it's block with the Raider, shield the objective, and then hope to God you can win edge.
Right.
To turn off Luke's bomb.
Right.
That's the only way out, I think.
Mm-hmm. We haven't seen any twists or anything from Zach yet, so
no, nothing from Tarkin's.
My mind is spinning here.
And again, we've not seen the Chimera hit the table, so that's a couple of 3 pip cards that could be in hand.
100% right. So 1 in edge, 2 in edge. Once again, realizing that he probably doesn't have more than 3 pips on that card.
Yeah.
If that's what he threw in.
3 from the tractor beam.
Yep.
And looks like that's a 1 edge battle for you in game. God, Jedi Control beating out the Navy aggressive Star Destroyer deck.
And that's me flipping over the cards that I would have drawn with if I remembered.
Do you remember the Obi-Wan triggers?
Yeah, because and honestly, it was kind of a thing where I'd remembered it after I'd done it, but I thought too much time had passed. So I tried to be a gentleman to Zach and say, too much time's passed for me to do this reaction.
Yeah,
so
the game's moved on since. Man, that was a clinic, David, in how to play defensive Jedi and maintain a board presence and keep a claw in the game and come back into it. It's beautiful to see.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, Andy.
No,
thank you so much.
Pleasure. So yeah, that's semi-finals over and done with. So Zach, unfortunately, has lost 2 at this point. That's him out in 3rd place. A great showing from the man from Team Covenant from Tulsa. Zach takes 3rd. and highest placed Navy deck actually on the day, I believe. So
Yes, it was.
2 thumbs up to Zach. And that's David moving on to the grand finals to play Tom Malucci. You got to win 2 though, David.
It's going to be a rough one.
Tough call. Let's see if you can do it. So thanks for joining us for commentary, David. Always good to have you on and get your insight into the game.
So happy to be here, Andy. Thank you so much.
Pleasure having you. Thanks to you guys for watching, and stay tuned. The finals will be on the channel shortly. I hope you stay with us. Thanks again. Cheers.